But here we are, the Q&A, hosted by F1 Classic. This has around 12 questions, I think, overall. So yeah, let's not waste any time and let's get started. So here we got the first question from Sebastian Campo. When did you start watching Formula 1? Now to answer that question, straight out the womb, honestly, 2009. I think I probably watched the last couple of races. I was just sat in front of that telly or something, watching a 2009 Formula 1 race. 2010 would have been the first full season I would have watched. But to answer your question, fresh out the womb, 2009. And so we got two questions from Blake Sonic. Favorite F1 driver and favorite F1 Classic moment. Favorite F1 driver, it's all gotta be Lewis Hamilton, my man. Always supported him. I started watching Formula 1. You know, when babies don't eat this, their parents might do Here Comes the Airplane. Well, at least in the UK that happens. Yeah, that would not work for me. It always had to be an F1 driver that I liked. Hamilton always worked. It always worked, no matter what, because I loved Hamilton. And that love for Lewis Hamilton has just stayed my whole life, and I just follow along with it. And for favourite F1 Classic moment, I don't have a specific one. Like, the race you're seeing in the background, that was just chaos, but that was not my favourite moment. In terms of personal, I'm going to say my second Drivers' Championship, not my first. In reality, I don't even think I didn't even deserve it first, because it was a double points race. And yeah, that was the only reason I was still in contention and won that championship. That was the only reason whatsoever. But if I'm gonna be honest, personally, 2014 winning my second title, but 2011 three-way title fight in Brazil was one of my favorite moments. Also, 2015 title fight, that was incredible. Of course, the 2016 resurgence of Mercedes, when they were just rising up the ranks, I guess. Yeah, them two questions took a while, but yeah, let's move on to question 3. No, that's question 4 next, actually, because that was 2. Okay, we've got another question from Sebastian Campo. What was my favourite F1 season? Okay, that's an interesting one, because I don't have one. I do not have a favourite F1 season. I'm being honest. I would happily rewatch 2021 if the FIA weren't so biased towards Verstappen. And how he got his title, which he deserved completely, because he was leading that whole Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. All the events that led up to that moment, which of course Mike Master took away, getting rid of history essentially. Yeah, I would happily rewatch 2021 if it wasn't for the fact that Verstappen won, which he should not have. 2020, that has a really soft spot in my heart essentially, because it's a really incredible season. We've seen George Russell make his debut for Mercedes. We've seen a new variant of Bahrain being used. It was incredible. No one else to describe it, but incredible. If I had to choose between them, some seasons, 2007, 2008, 2009. They were probably my favourite. 2009, simply because I was born. Also, I love the cars and the engine sounds that year. To me, they're absolutely beautiful. That 2009 McLaren looks incredible. 2008 Hamilton got his first title. Should have been second, realistically, because 2007 he decided to beach it into the gravel in China, which cost him a championship, but also engine problems in Brazil too. But yeah, my answer to the question: 2007, 2008, 2009. So let's move on to the next one. And from Bob, here we go. What do I think of Button? Pretty chill dude. I like Button. He's one of my all-time favorites. Much as I never talk about him at all. Cause like, Lewis Hamilton's super fun right here. yeah, Jensen Button, I enjoy him. He's a very nice person, good driver, especially 2009 Canada. He absolutely smoked the grid with that tyre strategy and result. So yeah, next question, because that was a very short one. And from Formula, one of my favorite F1 team, Mercedes. Straight up Mercedes. McLaren are almost on par, just below, then Ferrari. Red Bull at the bottom. Simply Red Bull at the bottom, they're just cheaters. Yeah, just cheaters in my opinion. So yeah, that's that question. Mercedes. And Grigorov says, what's my favorite F1 track? Spa, Silverstone, Monaco. Yep, Monaco an interesting one there, but Monaco, the excitement isn't just about qualifying. It's also about the race. The race can be exciting, knowing that if a driver does one wrong thing, they're out of the race. Just like that. So, yeah. What I'm saying is, I have enjoyed Monaco quite a bit. In fact, it used to be my all-time favourite track. It might still be. I'm actually not sure what my favourite is. Spa and Silverstone up there as well. Silverstone, like, it's a fun track. It's also in my home country. Spa, fast-paced, elevating action. You can't go wrong with them tracks. It's really like a triple crown of F1. Here is an Omar, who will win the World Driver Championship this season? Unsure, man. I'm sure you mean IRL, in which case it's too early to tell. I'd probably wait for after Silverstone to actually decide who was going to win this championship, unless Summer Break actually provides a whole lot of upgrades and stuff for teams. I'm safe to say it's either going to be Oscar or Lando. One of them two drivers are probably going to get the World Drivers' Championship this season in terms of F1 Classic. Too early to tell, to be honest. I think it's probably going to be Ultra Pro though. A 10 out of 10 skill. So yeah, it's F1 Classic part of the question. It's just another add-on essentially. Like, we're already 7 minutes 40 in to this video. A question from David Sergera, best driver in the 90s? In the 90s, I'm a genuine unsure. I don't have much knowledge of that decade. It's an interesting one, I ain't gonna lie. Now, if I did have to say, I'm gonna say Ayrton Senna. I guess he had the unfortunate accident in Imola 1994 that ended his career and unfortunately his life. RIP, you'll be missed. But yeah, he put together some solid performances, and if probably looking for a good season with Williams in 1994 if it wasn't for that crash that killed him. So yeah, answer that question, I think it's Ayrton Senna. Okay, now we got a question from Tom Leon, which is rookie of the season. This is probably on my IRL if it was F1 Classic then Tom Leon. But IRL we'll talk about here, and that's definitely going to Kimi Antonelli. Solid work for my man. He's the youngest person to set a race lap record. Like, wow. Very surprising and very impressive. He's just got to keep things up, and he's got a bright future ahead of him in Formula 1. We all know that. And 2 more questions to go. Chris Bentley saying, best 80s driver? Going off my own knowledge, I'm going to say Alan Prost. We all know he's a good driver. I'm going to say Alan Prost. That's it. So 1 more question to go. And finally, Donald Taberto asking, who is the best Formula E driver? Now, of all time, it's Lucas Di Grassi. Come on. Bruno just pull off that whatever it was in his Lola, apparently. I've been reading up, but yeah, I think of all time, it's gotta go to Di Grassi. In terms of currently on this grid, the Nissans, they're looking pretty good at the moment. So Yeah, I think Nato is in some pretty good form right now. So in terms of best on the grid right now, but I might be convinced to see Nato. It's the first time I've actually properly watched Formula E. I have loved Formula E for quite a while, but it's the first time I've actually properly watched it and enjoyed it. Not that amongst it in the Q&A. I hope you all enjoyed that one, and I will see you in another video where I will return. Have a good day, everyone, and peace.